Steiny Guru.
Why would you guys play him?
I don't.
There's not going to be him nor
I'm not
Mark
in charge
Jackson.
of
I'm
that.
out. TV on mute.
Yeah, you are. Sure. Okay. Yeah, you're out. Yeah, you're out. Okay, you're not going to watch any games. Okay.
No, I'm going to watch him, but I don't want to hand down, man down. That's out the window.
Boy, what analysis. Wow.
God, I just want to radio wrestle you when that name comes up. No JVG, your guy.
No JVG, my guy.
I don't care.
Hey, I got the answer. You can all thank me. Here's what you do. You ready? Hey, Clay, how about this, Chief? We'll give you an extension. But in that extension, we're going to have to put in a big bonus clause for sixth man of the year. Yeah, you got a bonus if you win sixth man of the year. Mm-hmm.
So you're just trying to bribe me, huh?
Yeah.
Just going to bribe me. Dude, Clay he's a trooper, man. I could see his skill set just jacking coming off the bench. That has me thinking like, oh my gosh, Jordan who? But Steiny, you can't sell him on that. He's a warrior. No pun intended.
So if he's a warrior, then he'll do whatever it takes to win.
Chris Paul, too?
City boy. He's not a warrior, really. Mm-hmm. What's up, City?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, baby?
Nada. Yeah, this Chris Paul situation is interesting. I mean, I think Matt probably has it right at the end of the day. Steve is going to mix and match lineups. But as we know, Chris Paul has never come off the bench, not even once. And that's when you talk about pride and what he wants, I think he hangs his hat on that, you know. And I think so if you're going to start him, you're going to start him every single game he plays in. And I think that's kind of a problem. And they probably want him to just say, you know, I mean, Chris Paul kind of has a little bit of a reputation for being difficult, let's say. I think that it could go a long way to changing that image if he came out and said, I'm willing to do whatever. So I think they're hoping that he'll eventually do that. Not so sure we can count on that. The other thing is, what do they move Steph to the shooting guard? And then all the Steph haters are going to say, see, we told you he's not a point guard. He can't be the greatest point guard ever. I don't even want to hear all that. I mean, that's going to be.
Hey, Julian, let me run this by you because I've done it to Steiny in the cafeteria 10 times. I'll never second-guess what the Warriors have done, and I know this is Dunleavy Jr.'s first crack at it, but are you shocked? Because we had a caller from Hunters Point, Ray, I believe, and he brought it up in his How I Feel, that they didn't have a conversation about his role before signing off or consummating a relationship. Like, I am blown away that they're going to deal with this now, and there is a possibility, Julian, that this could go left.
I totally agree. But I think at the end of the day, they had to get rid of Poole. Matt talked about it. They had to get rid of the money. The money's coming off the books, and I think Dunleavy's beholden to Lacob, you know, and he did what's best financially for the organization while still bringing in an asset and a guy who can play at a high level. So I think they figured they'd trade all that for a possible problem that they trust they can work out, and I sure hope they do, you know.
Good stuff, City boy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Good weekend.
510 Steiny, your ass needs to come off the bench.
I saw that, but see, I didn't think you would take it like that. You're the good boy.
Hey, remember, I wasn't always a full-time employee. I came off the bench.
Now, what are you talking about?
You know, when I wasn't, before our show.
I was at my other job, corporate, and I'd listen to you and O'Connell.
I got fired from, I didn't have a full-time job for like 4 years. I was filling in on the weekends and stuff. Doing the NBA show on the weekends.
And I used to see you with Zach when we'd get coming in
and
after
filling in when guys got sick. So I'm not, and you know what?
Who knew we'd be together?
I just did it.
Yeah. But you loved it. It wasn't work.
Exactly. Clay could learn something from me. It's the bottom line.
I hate you're going to you're going to him because
job.
he's a volume shooter and he can get hot.
Okay, you know what?
He could be the new microwave.
People think I'm not into Clay.
Go to Dre.
I don't care. Yeah, it's okay. I'll tell you what. How about Dre off the bench then? Why don't you acknowledge stuff? You did the same thing last year, and he offered to come off the bench. You were
But
dead
this is
wrong.
a full-time role.
But it's the regular season.
But
Draymond
still,
did it in a playoff series.
Barkley and Shaq and Kenny doing Warrior
do you
games.
remember-
They're like, oh, Draymond coming up. They think about that stuff.
Do you remember how adamant you were that Dre would never do that?
Oh, I took an L, and I
huge
apologize
one.
to Dre. Okay, another rat on the table brought to you by Atco before your weekend. Partner, do you think any of the big five would look outside of Looney going to the bench, here I go, as a demotion?
Of course.
Not that it came from that. It was born from that. It was born from, can you help the team? But the social media would look at it as a demotion. You give some credence to that, Steiny? That's all under the umbrella of pride, ego. And it's what drives these guys. For God's sake, Westbrook didn't come off the bench when it first jumped off.
Uncle Looney.
I keep thinking that's the real Looney when
Steiny
I've seen
said
it.
Curry should come off the bench. No, I didn't. I did not say Curry should come off the bench. This is where precision is important. I said, you know who'd be great at coming off the bench is Steph, because he could actually handle it mentally and physically. I didn't say they were going to do it. I said, think about it. Of all the people, okay, well, Chris Paul, we might have to tell him to come off the bench. That could be a problem. Oh, Klay Thompson, we got to tell him he needs to come off the bench. That could be a problem. Why? Why would your best player acquiesce if he had to, though? Which he would.
Because he's that guy, Steiny.
So, and that's the thing. And I get it. He hasn't come off the bench often. But if Steph Curry has been willing to come off the bench, then you all should be able to come off the bench if that's what's best for the team.
Hey, speaking of which, quick question to you. So let's just say you're in the car with Chris Paul. He's at the facility. You pick him up.
Yeah.
And he says, Steiny, they asked me to come off the bench. I said, F no. I'm being real with you right now. What would Matthew Steinmetz say to Chris Paul? Because you're a G and what you've accomplished, I get and understand why you said no.
I'll do this.
Or would you rebuttal and be like,
Let's do it again.
Hey, Steiny.
Hey, what's up, man?
Steve,
hey, Chris.
I'm pissed off.
Why?
They just asked me to come off the bench.
Well, you knew that was going to happen, right? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, you knew that.
But what if I say I've done this and that and I got a record, I ain't coming off the bench? Would you give them the real? You could, Chris, be a team player, man. Or would you say,
I would say,
Steiny, I'm getting mixed signals from you.
I would say, hey.
I understand.
Steph, or Chris, I understand. You've never come off the bench before in your life, but you're going to the Warriors. You're 38.
Wow.
So, I get it. You've never done it before, but why don't you want to do it?
I got a streak going that I've earned and I worked hard and I'm an Iron Man and I've been there and I don't want to come off the bench. I'm a future Hall of Famer. Make it right here.
First of all, CP3, I love you, but there are a million Hall of Famers who came off the bench at the end of their careers.
Who says I'm at the end?
You're 38.
That's
Don't be unrealistic, Chris.
There we go.
Don't be unrealistic.
There we go, Steiny. I wonder if he thinks he's at the end like a lot of people think where he's at.
415 in the Comcast Business text line says, I think they did have a conversation before the trade. I don't.
What was that like?
He said they probably said you might have to come off the bench, but we'll wait and see how things shake out. I don't even think they did.
Well, the tree ain't shaking because it's about to start, man, oh, man. So you think first day, we won't get any news of this until the 24th, the 22nd, because they play the 24th.
He might, but
doubleheader on TNT.
In the preseason, I don't think it's going to matter.
All right.
Milton in Puerto Rico. How you doing, Milton?
Doing great. First time caller.
Sweet.
Great show. Love it.
We got we got action in
PR,
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Milton, we got action in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I was born and I lived part of my time in Napa. But I'm from Puerto Rico.
Wow.
I've been to Aguadilla.
They have a nice Puerto Rican parade in San Jose. I went a couple years ago. Man, it was awesome.
We're talking about Puerto Rico, the island.
Good times. Good times.
Don't interrupt
That's
me.
San Jose.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was telling him about Aguadilla. I was in Aguadilla.
Oh.
Yeah. Beautiful,
Yeah, beautiful
island.
place. Beautiful place.
Yeah. What do you got, Milton?
So I wanted to talk about this Chris Paul situation. I just wanted to add that I'm a bit concerned because I don't think this is just. I think this is going to be a problem the entire season, and I would guess that whoever's the sixth man is going to try their best to get themselves into the starting lineup. And so I think this is something that we're going to be dealing with the entire season. And I'm a bit worried because when you deal with unfortunately, our team has not had a good record in dealing with personality issues. We had the problems with Draymond and Jordan Poole, Draymond and KD, and it might be something that's incredibly challenging to solve between people with this level of experience. And so that's the comments I wanted to make. I think this is going to be going on for the season.
Thank you,
man.
Hey, thank you, Milton. Appreciate it, and really appreciate you listening all the way from Puerto Rico. Wow. That's cool. That's cool. I think.
Yeah. And if you're right, Steiny, and this
About
is going
what?
to be like
Right
they're
about
going to
what?
do, the Warriors are going to take a page out of the Giants book, and each night you may not know who's going to start. I mean, I could see that, that getting stale or old for the players, but we'll see.
Go
ahead. No, that's just it.
There's another danger here, I think, that nobody's brought up yet. There's danger here that nobody's brought up yet, and here it is. What if Chris Paul says, you know what, I'll come off the bench? But he ain't any good coming off the bench.
Oh, then you got problems.
Well, there's a chance that could happen, too. That Chris Paul wants to, is ready to try to be a sixth man, but he just can't do it.
But you're asking him to do something that's not his cup of tea is getting buckets. If that's what you want your sixth man to do. Because Jordan Poole's going to get to the free throw line and get you 18, 25, or 35 a night, Steiny. That's not Chris. So Chris Paul is better at what he's been, a starter, Steiny. He gets the ball. You come in as sixth man, I'm thinking you're getting buckets.
Couldn't you also have a conversation with Chris Paul essentially saying, hey, look, Chris, I know you want to play till you're 40. If you come off the bench now and prove to teams that you could be a viable sixth man, after this season, you can go get the contract that you want to extend your career. Maybe that way you could try and sell to him that his career is extended if he acquiesces.
Hey, Evan, you seen my hamstrings? You know what I mean? What if he pulled a hammy or something, man?
Oh, by the way, did Evan tell you about my text to him last night?
No.
Brilliant idea. I had a brilliant idea.
This on the personal thread?
No.
Well,
No.
It's the one you're not on. So
it's the personal one. Go ahead.
So the one thing about when we were talking yesterday about Drew Holiday, and the one part that we said it'd probably be a three-way trade because Portland would have no interest in Chris Paul, and I'm like, yeah, they wouldn't. But then I thought about it more.
He was in OKC. He got
then
out
I
of
thought
there.
about it more. What if Portland said to Chris Paul, hey, look, we got Scoot Henderson. He's a young point guard. He's really young. You're going to start. You're going to start, and you're going to groom him for half the season. And then we're going to trade you. Wherever you want to go, we'll trade you at the trade deadline. And at that point, hopefully Scoot will be ready to start. You, Chris, can keep your starting job in every game, a starting line. You'll be in the starting line every night. Scoot's going to come off the bench for the first 45, 50 games, and then we'll trade you. And we'll trade you to a really good team. Ooh, how about it?
And this would mean that Drew Holiday came to Golden State, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
What?
do you got any different feeling of where he's going to land?
Nah.
It's all quiet on the set right now.